Okay, dokie. We are, am I recording? I am recording. Seven commitments of a great team. And today we're going to do chapters 9 through 15.
Yep.
So chapter 9, I feel like needs nothing.
Agreed.
Agreed? Okay.
Well, the only thing I highlighted was the bad teams ignored the issues, the good teams addressed the issues, and the great teams got better and stronger because of the issues.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And I did, although I didn't highlight it, I did, kind of a season is like a roller coaster with ups and downs. And that really is the epitome of our business. It's like a roller
Yeah,
coaster. There's ups,
yeah,
downs, it's broken, it's off the rails.
right,
We need
right.
a whole
Yeah,
crew of mechanics to put us back on the rails.
yeah.
Um, so chapter 10 is commitment number 4, which is commit to getting better. Um, beginning of middle of 61, I highlighted excellence doesn't care what our record is. Excellence doesn't care what the score is. It only cares that you are getting better. What I like about that is how I would relate that to our business is it doesn't matter what your points are, they're just a number. They're just a number. It doesn't matter where you are compared to where you were 3 years ago, right? Like this is where Nick
This is where
Saban
you
always
are.
says, focus on where your feet are and
Yeah,
and then get better.
yeah.
You know,
Progress, not perfection.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this I felt like is super relevant to what we do. Um, just the next paragraph down, what made you good in the past will not make you great in the future. It's not just about giving your best effort, it's about giving your best effort to continually improve and get better. Um, Trisha Rager was sharing a couple days ago in a coaching thing I'm in with her is like she said, most people believe, and she believed, and I believed, like once you become a jewel, you kind of know what you're doing. And it just isn't the truth. Not
Uh-huh.
only is everything continuing to evolve, but there is no like, I've got it all figured out. That's not the way life is designed. You have to continually be learning and growing, and each new level you get to requires a better version of yourself. Um, and being good at where you are will get you to a place, but then you've got to keep getting better
Mhm.
to keep growing. I remember coaching somebody, it's been a few years when my team was in full momentum, and one of them said to me, I just don't think I want to be an emerald because it seems like you work so hard. Like I'd love your paycheck, but I don't think I could do what you do. And my
Mhm.
response is, you couldn't yet. As a gold, you don't know how to do. But it took me working really hard and the things that it took to get there prepared me for to be there. Right. And now it's learning
Right.
different skills and new skills and, you know,
Well, and that's what I keep telling myself because I feel the exact same way.
that kind of
It's
thought
like I
of
look at you
couldn't do it.
and other jewels who are working and think, I don't want to work that hard. I don't know how to do that. And I remind myself, by the time you get there, you will know how to do that.
You do because you've talked to a gazillion more people.
Right.
As more people join your team that want to work the business, that's more people that you're coaching. And you kind of learn what works and what doesn't. I'm a much different coach and leader now than I was 5 or 6 years ago. I am still very type A, red, Enneagram 1. Like, just do the things. But I now have much more compassion for people where that it's hard for them to do the things, or they need a different kind of coaching or hand holding or whatever that
Mhm.
I used to not see.
Mhm.
I now see, but that has come from coaching over the years, tons of different people and creating a
Well,
safe enough space where they can share their heart with me, where
yeah.
I'm able to go, okay, I need to learn how to help this type of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And learning,
Yeah.
becoming so confident in myself that knowing, this is what we need to share. This is what we need to do. And never taking
Hmm.
offense if people don't do it. Not
Hmm.
worrying about people judging, you know?
Well, and I had never thought about it this way until just now in this conversation, but I wasn't the same teacher in year 24 as I was in year one. So I need to apply that kind of thinking to working my business because in teaching, I always told I always thought about how I was going to do it better, how I was going to do it different next year.
Well, and I can only imagine that the difference in your confidence, and I'm going back to like imagining you coaching and leading business builders. Think of the difference in Angie in years 1 through 5 in parent teacher conferences, telling people about their kids and what they need to do to help their kids, and that
Hmm.
compared to years 20 through 24.
Hmm.
How much different did you carry yourself in parent teacher conferences and in how you
Yeah.
had meetings or meetings with admin
Hmm.
or peer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As you go further along, you are better prepared to handle those situations,
Right.
and in confidence, belief can thrive.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
that's true.
knowing
So,
that there is, yeah, I mean, you're not prepared yet to lead a team of 300 people ordering and probably 15 working because you're not there yet.
right.
First you need 2 people working and
Right.
50 people ordering,
Yeah.
and you get a good grip on that and then it just multiplies.
Right. So I have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
In fact, I just turned the page. This was how I approached teaching. The one, what went well?
Mhm.
Two, what could we do better? And three, what did we learn that will make us better? That was the way I always applied myself in teaching.
And you could do that with, I would do it weekly in your Plexus business.
Hmm. Yeah. What did I do well this week and what am I going to do differently next week as a result? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Doing that weekly allows you time to catch up and fix. Like if you set a goal of messaging X amount of people, and you didn't, in the what did we learn that will make us better, figure out what the distractions were. Where did your time go? How
Yeah.
can you do it better? And if you're adjusting each week, you will make much quicker progress. You don't want to just look at the end of the month and go, well, didn't get anything done. But if you're weekly, you know, checking in, you're more apt, I would think, to make shifts and get it done. And it's kind of like, it talks about at 63 having difficult conversations. Those conversations can be with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it can also be, in the rally chat when I'm asking, towards the end of the week and stuff, I'll ask people to be accountable and what did speaking up in there. Like it's one thing to be in there and read it, but not do anything and not answer the questions and not take action. Well, that's not doing any good.
Mm.
It's the, taking action or not and being honest about I didn't, but um having difficult conversations, because that is a safe space. And the way he's talking about this team is like your team should be a safe space
Hmm.
um, where you feel
Yeah.
enough love that you can, allow people also to hold you accountable.
Right.
Um, Anything else on chapter 10? I did underline the positive discontent.
Me too.
You feel good and positive about what you've accomplished, but you have some discontent knowing there are things you can do to improve. And I thought this was so funny. Winning is a great deodorant. It covers up what stinks about your team.
Yep.
True.
Yep. Okay. I'm making a note for myself here to have the difficult conversations with
And
myself.
solely the book. Don't
What?
just think about it. Write it out in whatever journal you're choosing
Yeah.
about what you've gotten done, what you
Yeah.
can get better. Um, because as a teacher, thinking about it is one thing, speaking about it is even more powerful, and writing it down, like, isn't that how you teach people to learn?
Hmm. Yes. Well, I tried. I tried really,
Right.
really hard.
So taking your own advice, in chapter 11, really all I underlined was the top of 69, where love tough means you love each other and then earn the right to challenge each other. That was really what I was just talking about because you feel the love
Right.
of your teammates, you're more open to them challenging you. Um,
Well, yeah, I highlighted, excuse me, I highlighted that first sentence, and then the third sentence, if you challenge your team members but they don't feel your love, it won't be received well.
that I think can go back to what I was speaking to earlier of how I've changed. I feel like I've changed as a leader.
Hmm.
That I don't know always that I took time first to build the relationship where hopefully people knew that I loved and cared about them
Hmm.
before I gave what I hope is constructive criticism and help in helping them.
Right.
So, because what I know, but everybody doesn't know about me, if they haven't known me for long, is if I don't love and care about you, I don't have time for you. I don't I don't just take the time to like coach people or do a spreadsheet with their points to help them reach goals. I don't just do that. I only do that if I care, but I don't know that I knew that and people super close to me know that. Like if Christy doesn't care about you, Christy doesn't give you the time of day. But I learned that everybody didn't know that about me. Right? They didn't know if I was
Yeah.
taking the time to dig into their business and figure out things that might help them. That was me loving them. And so
Yeah.
that's a growth process. That's me going, where's the miss? And working on it. And
Yeah.
you don't learn that until you're actually in it
Right.
and doing it.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, that's
Um,
pretty much it for that chapter.
yep. Chapter 12, commitment number 5, commit to connect. This is I highlighted page 74, midway through the first paragraph. If you don't have connection, you will never have commitment. To be a committed team, you must be a connected team. I will tell you that is one thing that I can testify of. When I was pushing for Emerald, the group of us that were all rising together um, was there were probably 12 of us at different ranks. But we were in communication every day. We were so committed to each other of just cheering each other on, pulling each other on hard days. And that connection was something that we don't have right now that I'm hoping to build again with new team members because it was unbelievable that what we had that, within 2 months, me going Emerald, having, let's see, one, two, four senior rubies, two rubies, like 12 golds. And we were just all kind of did it together.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and it was like nobody was willing to let the other person down. Like they would literally, the month of going Emerald, okay, Christy, how many more do you need? And, they'd be like, okay, I can get one, I can get two. Okay, I'm going to send these messages. Like we just all rose together.
Hmm.
And I know that what that felt like, and I know that we can do it again. And it's just kind of like I'm building a new ship of people that will feel good because it wasn't just about me. Like they were
Right.
pushing for me, but I was pulling for them.
For them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a constant like, okay, what points? Okay, who can we talk to? What can I, what kind of
How
thing
can I
can we
help?
do?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
A rising tide lifts all
Yes.
boats.
Yeah. It really is remarkable when that exists. And when it doesn't, people miss it.
Hmm.
They miss it. Um, the one word. Did you do this activity for yourself? A word that will motivate and inspire you, a word that will help you be your best, a word that will give you focus and purpose. What word will help you accomplish your goals? What word will help you keep your commitments? What word will help you and the team be our best? Did you just read past that or did you pause?
Um, I was thinking about it. I had a principal that used to have us do this. He would ask, usually it was about mid-year, and he would ask us to think of a word. Um, and he'd frame it some kind of way. It wasn't exactly this way, but to frame a word that he wanted us to be our focus for the rest of the year or whatever. And even the rock thing, there was one year I remember having there was a professional development at the beginning of the year. What's going to be your focus for the year? And we had to write it on the rock, and I had the rock on my desk all year. And so I was kind of thinking about that and not really thinking about it in the moment. Um, I don't know. I think I not I don't know. I do know. I think my word would need to be consistency. Consistency.
What's the why behind that word?
Well, there's layers. One, consistency is getting the things done. Um, so by having a month of consistently doing the work, there would be results at the end.
Mhm.
And even if the results didn't turn up in the way of pay points or a bigger paycheck, there would be results it would get easier. The muscle memory. I'd be developing the muscle memory so it would get easier to do the work because of doing the work all the time. Right now, I'm kind of at, okay, where do I even start? Because it's been so long since I've done any kind of consistent work
Mhm.
in the business. In fact, I feel like all I know how to do right now is go help mom. Go help mom.
Mhm.
When I find myself, and it's not even when I find myself not knowing what to do, but it's like when I find myself with uncommitted time, that's my first impulse is go help mom. So I guess right now, what I've been doing the last few weeks is working on carving out time where I let her know I'm not available tomorrow
Right.
and not requiring myself to explain why.
Mhm.
Just what I told her yesterday is I've got things going on at home tomorrow. I might be able to see you on Thursday. So that's kind of my carving out space for myself. Because for a while, I was going over there 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So progress, progress,
Progress.
not perfection, but progress.
Yep. I like consistency. Deciding what you're going to get consistent with. Did you have anything else in chapter 12?
Uh, no,
Okay. Chapter
no, that was it.
13, the safe seat. Um, I thought this was really cool, and I think this is something that I'm going to do with my kids. But the five H questions on the board.
Mhm,
Who's your hero? What's a hardship you faced that was a defining moment in your life? What's a highlight you are proud of? What do you hope for? What's hilarious? What makes you laugh? Could be a story or anything funny. I really like that as a team building
mhm,
activity, as a way to get to know, you know, the people on their team. I think, for it's just really cool. That would be a fun, like if you're at a retreat something or
mhm.
in
Yeah,
a small enough group where people have time to share and feel safe sharing. Um, but I really like that
mhm.
as a future team building activity.
Well, and
Um,
it's a good thing to think through for yourself because I was kind of asking myself at the time I read through it. It's like, who is my hero? What's a hardship that I faced? And in reflection, although I don't know, I tend to be a bit of a Pollyanna. Because in reflection, I was thinking, I can't think of any true hardship and feeling like maybe my life hasn't really been all that difficult. Um, when compared to what other people have been through. Or something that I might consider a hardship is like, okay, but how did that define me? I don't know that it defined me,
mhm.
or whatever. Um, so it's like there's probably area for growth here to sit with this and think about these things, maybe free write about these things, because that's like you mentioned earlier, that's when the stuff starts to come.
And remove the comparison,
Yeah.
because I tell people all the time, there are many people, I mean, they tell me all the time, I could never survive what you've been through. Okay. Also, I look at some other people, I'm like, I don't know if I could survive that.
Hmm.
Like, it's not a comparison game. We are on our own path, our own journey. What was hard to you, I might look at it and go, what? But I wouldn't. But if that's what when you're comparing your hard to somebody else, we all have different hards,
Yeah.
and we all are prepared for different hards. Um, and it's just not, life is not a comparison game.
That's
Knowing and
true.
accepting what was hard for you doesn't matter if it would have been hard for somebody else. If it was hard for you, that's
Hmm.
worth working through. What is trauma to you would not be trauma to somebody else. And it just goes down the line. I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I highlighted on top of page 84, in isolation, you become weak and powerless. Your negative thoughts and situations feel insurmountable. But when you connect with others, especially your team, you find a greater strength to get through tough times. We are stronger and better together. Yeah, I mean it
Exactly that. Yeah.
it really is huge. In a breakout room in Rebecca and Melissa's Six Figure Systems um coaching call last week, we did breakouts and did coaching, and I wrote down her name, Angie Thompson. She's a diamond. She was coaching me, and one of the things she asked me is, do you have a group of other jewels that you're connected with, separate from our team, that you can go to, that are going through the same things you're going through, that might have the same struggles, that might be able to, you know, pick you up or whatever. Um, and my first thought was no, but then, and I thought Melanie Allen and Sunny Keck, who are usually on this call, who, you know, I
Hmm.
I thought more through it, and I was like, I don't go to them, but I could. I really could. And after that coaching call, I messaged them and I was like, just so you know, I might be coming to you, because although I have many of you, none of you are in the same boat I am of trying to,
Right,
I mean, I'm trying to lead people who are not my team. Like my team, but not.
right,
You know what I mean? A lot of what
right,
I do, besides filling my heart, in no way benefits me.
right.
And that's a sometimes a frustrating place to be. It's not because I love doing it, but it is sometimes because I'm like, come on, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
having I need to be better about going to, because I have other jewels that I have great relationships with, but I don't ever go to them outside of like friendship, business wise, and I should, because it does sometimes feel very lonely.
hmm,
Um, you know,
yeah,
it's not lonely in the like I don't have any friends, but lonely in the trials that I'm trying to like overcome
right, right.
at one
No,
level. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
to say that I see any of you at different levels, but in the business,
right.
there are different struggles that I have that you might not have yet. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes,
Um,
absolutely,
and I think,
absolutely.
and that's really
It-
why I wanted to start a chat and keep a chat going every month is just because you're not alone. It needs to be a place where you guys share, and the
mhm,
more sharing, the better. Because I've talked to all of you individually, and you're all very much in the same boat. Besides Marie, you've all been around for over 8 years. You've all had much higher points, gone lower. You all have had big dreams that you maybe gave up on a little bit. You
mhm,
know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So besides
mhm,
Marie, who doesn't have a clue what's going on because she literally just joined 3 days ago,
mhm.
you're all in the same boat. And so it shouldn't just be, I don't want it to just be me putting in things. I want it to be sharing, connecting, um, because nothing we're doing is insurmountable, but it's better
Right,
when you have people doing it with you.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you you were not on the coaching call last night, were you?
Was not.
One of the things I shared um is just really about how many messages it might take to send to get a customer. And I shared that in that chat, but I actually shared real numbers based on in the call based on Crystalline's goal of where she
Mm,
wants to be in December versus where she is now. And if she's the only person messaging, if no other person joins to work the business, like how many messages that would be a month, how many customers that is a week, a month, a day. And it could feel very overwhelming
mhm.
unless there are other people digging in with you. Like for me to look at my numbers and be like, oh, I need to send 700 messages this month, which isn't even a drop in the bucket. What I went over in the call is on my call with Jennifer Thomas, my coach, like 2 days ago, and I blurted that I wanted to be Sapphire, but by December, I was like, wait, nope, nope. And she's like, nope, you already said it. And backing into it, I was like, you know what that means? Adding 4 new customers a day for the next 5 months. Okay. That's
Well,
a lot. That's a lot considering we had 3 months in a row with double goose eggs of no ads, one ad in July, and now we're at four in August. So we're making progress. But listen, if you want it, is it going to take 100 messages a day? Maybe right now. Maybe. Listen, we're not brain surgeons. We're not cutting
yeah,
people's brains open and with the possibility of them dying on the table. We're freaking sending messages. We're building relationships. We're
right.
connecting. And the bigger our goals are, the harder we have to work,
Yeah.
you know? And I do want it because my word is freedom, and I want freedom of lots of things. And that comes, the freedom that I want right now comes from money. The things but it's not about the money, it's about what that money can represent in our house. And as you know, how many times I've moved in the last few years because of money and my husband's job. I would love the freedom to be able to pick a city and stay in it, right?
Hmm.
I would really love that, among other things. Um, Chapter 14, when you love something, you don't quit on it. When you love someone, you don't quit on them. You have a connection to what you do and to the team you do with it. This reminded me of our book club last week, where Sunny was like, I just don't quit. And Melanie too, and me too, like, we just don't quit.
Hmm.
That's usually the difference between a Jewel and somebody else is we don't quit. And not that we don't quit on the business, we don't quit on the work. Like, we don't quit when people on our team aren't showing up. We don't throw in the towel, we don't step away, we love it. My
Yeah.
Plexus coach asked me on the call, she's like, "How are you liking the new business?" And I was like, I don't. I don't at all. It's a huge reminder of how much I love Plexus and why so badly I need to go Sapphire and Plexus because I don't like this at all. This is not fun for me. I am not excited about it. I am not happy about it. I don't
I
love
think I
it.
hear a post in there.
A post
Hmm.
about me not loving income properties?
Well, about how you're not loving a more traditional type of
Oh,
job
well,
versus working Plexus.
yes. The reason I can't do that is because I've got to grow that business.
Yeah.
And all those real estate agents that I need referrals from need to believe that I really love
But you really love real estate.
this business and
Yeah.
excited about making it great. Um, I don't. Tenants are the worst. Tenants are not cool.
I had
But
one rental property. I had one. It's gone now.
yeah, it's
Yeah. Well,
imagine
and a tenant can be great
some can be
until they're
great.
not.
Well, just imagine having
Until they're not.
220 of them
Yeah. No, thank you.
and
No.
the homeowners and the tenants. And it's and a bookkeeping bookkeeping system that didn't exist. It reminds me again of the freedom that I want to allow Rob to do this. He doesn't love it either, but it's his legacy. And he wants it to be his children's legacy. And so
Hmm.
I get that. And I have to do it until he can do it. And the sooner I'm a Sapphire, the sooner he can make this his legacy because it doesn't bring me joy. And we know Christy loves joy. I really like
Yeah.
doing things that make me happy.
Yeah.
Chapter 15, commitment number 6. Um, Commit to each other. this would be tough for a lot of people. In this chapter is where they all had a piece of paper written on their back and people got to write things about them that maybe weren't great. Um, but being honest, part where we say, what could make each other better. Um, but in 94, it kind of breaks it down. Commit to each other. You must commit to serve and sacrifice for each other. What will you do to be a great teammate? How will you sacrifice for your team? What will you give up? What will you give? This really reminds me when I was talking about the month I pushed for Emerald in the month before, where all of us on our team, there were things we gave up. I don't know that anybody watched TV that month. You know, the things that we sacrificed of like Deanna flew to Florida to be there for the final week because she knew if she was home, she's the queen of distraction. And she was like, I'm just going to come and I'm going to be in your office with you. And we are going to message every human that we know exists. She literally flew out and removed every distraction. And we just worked for 7 days. Um, and that was being a great teammate. That was sacrificing. There was, what will you give up? We gave up time. Like everybody that month told everybody in our family, like, hey, we're kind of gonna be MIA for a month. Again, because they were going senior Ruby. They were just,
Hmm.
and what will you give? And it sounds awful looking back on it, but it was like such an amazing, powerful thing. It was like people on my team, anytime they'd go past something green, they'd literally take a picture and text it to me. Thinking of you. It's just when you get to that point on your team where you're like, this is the month we're going Emerald, it's indescribable because you don't do it by yourself. It feels hard when you're gold or senior gold to think, God, I'm doing this all by myself. You don't get to that past the thousand
Right.
points.
Right.
You by that point, you've created this community and people are bought in, and it's a
Yeah.
really cool thing.
Yeah. I don't think one can get past gold alone.
I don't think so either. I truly believe people can get gold by themselves, although
Hmm.
it's much easier with two people. Um, but I think you can't. I think you only need one person sharing. Um, I think Ruby is two people that want to work the business underneath you. And I think senior Ruby is four. And I
Hmm.
think Emerald is 10 that really want it. I've
Hmm.
seen people go diamond with like hundreds of silvers. Um, but that's a lot to keep up with.
Would be.
It's
Yeah.
doable. It's doable, but that's a lot to keep up with. Helping,
Well, and aren't those kind of the people who rocket to diamond and then kind of fall back
I don't know.
if they've got if they don't have any
They're
depth?
super wide. I think
Yeah.
eventually they would get deep. I don't know. It's hard to know. I mean, I watched Kinley Severns rocket to diamond and thought she's not going to hold it, and now she's a star diamond. She just keeps, and if you saw the leaderboard 2 weeks ago, now like she just was on the leaderboard as a silver, which means now she's star diamond, diamond silver. And I thought for sure when I met her at her first
Mhm.
Emerald Extravaganza, oh, this isn't going to last. Shame on me
Yeah.
because she doesn't follow tradition. She just was like doing it her way, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to last. And shame on me because she is creating jewels of people doing it their way that don't look like the rest of us up there.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
don't. And they have made a space for themselves. So
I
shout out
remember
to
that
them.
name from convention, Kinley Severns.
Uh-huh.
Was did she speak?
She was on she did train and she did the on the big stage, she did the skin health system. It was
Okay.
her, um, Jill Renfro and Joanna.
Okay. Okay.
Um, all right. I really loved on page 98. I think this is critical for us in our business. And I think we can kind of close out with this, but I'm going to give up worrying about the outcome. It's exhausting. I'm going to give up my fear of failure. I just need to go for it and not let the outcome define me. Um,
Yep. I highlighted just that last sentence. I just need to go for it and not let the outcome define me. Um, on page 97, because it resonated with me, not necessarily because it's something I need to hold on to, although it's something I need to reflect on why I do this. I highlighted, truthfully, there are times I don't want to fail and don't want to let you guys down, and that's why I check out. I I check out because I don't want to fail.
you're not alone. Many, many
I
people do that. And it's in a book, but a lot of people do that.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
also
it's
the
not.
part where it says telling someone what to do doesn't make you a leader, when they all kind of ganged up on the guy who
Mhm.
thought he was a leader and they told him you're not a leader.
Yeah,
That I felt kind of bad for him, but he needed to hear it.
right. Yeah. Um,
So yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of people give up. It was hard for me not to give up at the end of July, where I had sent over 300 messages, where I had worked my winning day every day and 5 business reach outs every day. And on the 31st, I hadn't signed anybody. And I'd had 4 people say they were going to sign, and none of them had. And at the very end, Rob's aunt reached out to me and was like, I think I'm ready to try. We've talked about it for years. She's does Mary Kay, and she was my one that ordered. I was like, okay. But there's a part of me that's like, what am I even doing? But the other part of me, I just don't ever quit.
You didn't come this far to only come this far.
Mm-mm. And if I had stopped sending messages, I wouldn't have gotten the new people on the first, second, and third,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Because
So,
people are going to sign on their timeline. They're not going to
correct.
sign on your timeline,
Hmm.
but they signed.
But I stuck to my system and just kept doing it and not worrying about failing. I really, really thought, I mean, she literally ordered at 9 p.m. on the 31st. I literally thought I'm going to have one more month with nobody, not a zero team ad. It wasn't even just about me, it was about my whole team. Like
Mhm.
zero team ads again, and then she ordered. Um, but you just got to not care. And you got to know, like I knew, okay, I sent that many messages and this was the result. That means I need to send this many messages if I want the other result. It's all it meant. It's all it meant. Didn't mean what I'm doing isn't working. It meant I wasn't doing enough of what works.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference in that. I didn't fail. I learned that I actually have to send way more messages than I thought I did. And I don't think that I past has proven to me it doesn't stay that big of a number, because the more
Right.
you're messaging people, the more the number doesn't stay that high. My ratio will not stay 100 to 1. It just
Right.
won't. It will get to 20 to 1. That's where it used to be when I was really good at messaging every day, really good at tracking who I was messaging, and really intentional with my posting. I was
Okay.
about 20 to 1. I will get there again. But when you're flat-footed, you got to
Well,
work
and that's
flat-footed.
that's another layer behind consistency. The effort is cumulative.
It really compounds.
When you're starting from nowhere,
Hmm.
when you're starting from zero, yes, it takes that. But then, you know, a few years ago, when our uplines were doing diamond challenges with Genevieve,
Hmm.
um, they were duplicating that challenge to the team.
Hmm.
And you and I were not close then, so I don't know if you were in that or not. But I had a month of doing the winning day for almost a month, and I could feel that momentum was starting to build.
Hmm.
So that's where the consistency comes in. It builds momentum.
It does. And it gets easier every day
Yes,
because it's just part of what you do. You know, and maybe for
exactly.
you, it's I do 1 hour of work in Plexus before I go to my mom's. You have enough time in the day
I do. I do.
and make it intentional. Like you can get so much done in an hour.
Hmm. Yep. You
Um,
can get a winning day done in an hour.
you get a winning day done in an hour, especially when you don't have a big team for tons of follow-up, like where you're
Yes.
coaching and digging
Right.
in and in lots of three-way chats. When that's not a part of it yet, and
Yeah.
right now, I mean, I'm spending 80% of my time on my personal business. I'm just reaching out.
Just as it should be.
Mhm. Because that's where I am. I'm trying to fill my boat back up.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Anything else? We'll end the book next week. I will tell you my plan for the next book club is not for it to be my book club. Brooke Hemingway is going to be leading a book club with Sarah Robbins' new book called Multiply or whatever. I posted about it in the
Okay.
Multiply Method. You can get it on Amazon, and it comes out, I think, August 12th. So right now it's a pre-order. And then that next week, which would be, I think, the week of August 18th, Brooke is going to lead a book club
Okay.
on that. And I was in the like little training Sarah did as a rough overview of what the book is. It's going to be a real systems book.
Okay.
Um, but
There's a replay available of that because I intended to get on that, but that was Monday
yep,
when I had the whole emotional thing
yep,
that we talked about earlier.
yep.
Um, so I want to watch the replay.
So
So did
my
you
plan
post? I
is
think you posted that link in the rally chat, right?
yes,
Okay.
I did. So, and I will share that after this call just because we're used to going and we're going to finish this book next week. So we won't have a week off, I don't think. I think we'll go straight into it takes one thing off my plate and anytime Brooke leads anything, it tends to be pretty
Very
great.
well
And
done.
so she
Yeah.
said she's going to lead the book club on that
Okay.
starting the week after the book is released. So I have pre-ordered mine. Um,
Okay.
and that is
I
my
will get
plan
on that.
for the next book club. One less thing for me to do.
Okay.
And, you know, I will see, I'm fascinated to see like how the systems align with the systems from Six Figure Systems but it's a real system
Okay.
duplicatable book.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
All
friend.
right.
I will see you. I will see you.
Okay.
I'll be seeing you soon. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.